Lenora Sellers is still the best quarterback in this 2026 NFL draft cycle. I'm Cody Carpentier with the Draft Rankings podcast. It's Wednesday, my dudes, and we're going to continue our conversation on the 2026 NFL draft class, talking about these quarterbacks. I told you last week as I jumped into the top three in Sellers, Klubnik, and Garrett Nussmeier that I just wanted to keep diving. So I've dove, and I'm 11 players deep, 11 quarterbacks deep over the course of the last week. Still got a couple of names that I haven't watched. I haven't watched Sawyer Robertson. I was prepared to do that before today's show, but I wanted to just, hey, we got to 11. I had a number of other shows to do today. Go check those out on Roster Watch and on Player Profiler and on Orange Bloods. I haven't watched Arch Manning. I haven't watched Nico Iamaleava. I have not watched Joey Aguilar at Tennessee or Brendan Sorsby at Cincinnati. These are names I have on the books. Luke Altmaier, Illinois. Aiden Childs, Michigan State. Avery Johnson, Kansas State, and Noah Fafita, Arizona. Those are the names I got written down to continue to watch. But I've gotten through 11, and I've got one first-round grade, a boom-bust grade at that. I've got 3 second-round grades, and I've got 3 players with second/third fringe grades. I've got 2 third, fourth, and I got 2 fourth-round grades amongst the 11. And these are soft. These are not like official, like, yeah, there's 10 quarterbacks up here. But this is just, there's projection built into these conversations. And that's why I feel good putting a round in a soft grade next to him. Not saying like, oh, this is officially this guy's going to be a 4th-round pick. This is just what they did last year coupled with what I think is things that can grow, things that can build as we go into the year. And they can continue to get better on. These are not like, oh, this is guy's just done. Like you would look at him, in 300 days when the season's over, you look at him much different. So number 11, I'm not going to talk about a couple of these guys. I'll talk about a couple of them, but not all of them. Number 11 was Haynes King, quarterback from Georgia Tech. He came in as quarterback 11 for me. He got a 4th-round grade. 31 career starts for Haynes King. 10th overall was Talon Green. Talon Green is one I just finished him up last night or this morning. Talon Green at Arkansas has 35 career starts, a ton when you're talking about this class right now. He is tied with Brendan Lewis from Memphis with the most starts in this next upcoming cycle. So if he plays 13 games, he'll be at 48. If he plays, if they hypothetically get a playoff berth, he might get up to 15. I like Talon Green quite a bit, actually. He's got a great frame, 6'6", 224 from Louisville, Texas, 3 seasons at Boise State. Passing completion percentage has been 61, 57, 60 the last 3 years. Touchdown interception, not great. Rushing upside, not elite rushing upside, but he's got rushing upside. Mild release speed, improviser in the back of the pocket. He can escape a lot. The offensive line did not do him any favors at all. I think he's got a B-plus arm. Kind of compared him to Tanner McKee as a 4th-round guy. Rocco Beck from Iowa State came in at number 9. Beck is one that I get it. People want to easily compare a guy like this to, the Brock Purdy's of the world and whatnot. I'm not quite there. I think Beck is fine. He got a 3rd, 4th grade. Jalen Daniels just a notch ahead of him. Jalen Daniels from Kansas, 33 career starts. This is a fun guy. Jalen Daniels is a fun quarterback to watch. 6 foot tall, 220 pounds, 66% completion percentage in 2022, 57% in 2024, 400 plus rushing yards, team captain this last year, all academic, 2-time. He'd be 24 years old when the draft comes around, 33 career starts, like I said. I think of a JT Barrett. I think of a Jalen Milroe. It's just like that play style. And that's how, if you guys know, that's how I comp players. I think he's got the ability to bend the edge as a quarterback and run, but that's not the top thing. That's not, as a quarterback, something you really want to be known for. Natural rusher, of course. Very poised in the pocket. His arm strength and power is fine. Fits in tight spots at times, but he can be definitely inconsistent. And when given ample time, he processes well in the pocket, but man, some things just get a little bit erratic with Jalen Daniels. And again, 6 foot tall, 220 is what he's listed at. He don't play 6 foot tall. He plays probably like he's going to measure in a 5'10", 3/4. That's definitely going to be a hindrance on his draft cycle. So that's kind of the bottom tier is Jalen Daniels, Beck, Green, and King. Once we get up into the 2nd and 3rd round grades, you'll understand this grouping here. Number 7 overall is Carson Beck, quarterback at Miami. Gave him a 6'2", 27 career starts. Drew Aller from Penn State, 29 career starts. He's got a 6'2" as well, 6'2" flat. A 6'2" flat is an average starter, second, third round. He came in at quarterback 6, and the quarterback 5 is Garrett Nussmeier, 14 career starts, a 6'2", halfway up there. Average starter, like I said. I think there's some stuff with all three of these guys that's interesting. Beck, obviously, last year, a lot of people had the conversations around Carson Beck. Should he be the first quarterback? Is he going to be the first quarterback? Was he going to be drafted? That was the big thing. Was Beck going to be? And for those that are wondering what the hell I'm doing, I'm flipping through paper pages because I write everything up. I write everything up for all the players. And Beck is one at 6'4", 220 that I like. And I also hate. He's nimble, but he's very slight in the lower quarters. His decision-making's poor more often than I like. He's very tough. I think he's somewhat blind underneath. It's weird because you look like a Taylon Green from Arkansas. Taylon Green, he's 6'6", and he can see everything. And he hits everything. Everything in the short and middle quadrants for Taylon Green is really good. Really good. Accurate. Doesn't dial it in too hard with the fastball. But with Carson Beck, it's like he can't see over his line. He's listed 6'4", 220. It's like he can't see sometimes. It's like he doesn't see linebackers. He doesn't see DNs that drop. He'll throw it right at him consistently. Bad decision-making at times. I think he needs another year to 2. Obviously, he's going back to Miami this year. It's kind of what I wrote down. Quick release, strong projection as a thrower. Accuracy on the run tends to fall off. Best just in the pocket, standing still. 71 rush yards this last year, 116 the year before with a couple rushing touchdowns. Again, threw the football just about 400, 440 times. Back-to-back 3,400 plus passing yard seasons. SEC championship the last year. SEC all-second team. He'll be 24.5 next year. His 4 career losses, all road games and neutral site. Alabama, 8th overall, ranked 8th in the country. Alabama, 4th in the country. Notre Dame, 3rd in the country in the playoff. And Ole Miss, 16th in the country. 27 career starts. I think Beck is fine. I think Beck is going to be a fine projection. The comp list is interesting here. Darnold, Goff were the drafted top 5 type of guys. It's kind of where I see him projection in. Jordan Love, obviously the less accurate, 55% completion percentage in college, whereas you see Beck 72% in 24, in 23, and 64% in 24. Connor Cook is another one that kind of lays in there from Michigan State. Gave him a 6'2", though, second round. Drew Aller, everybody knows about Drew Aller, 6'5", 236. A lot of people have him conversed as the QB1. I think there's a lot that needs to be done here with Drew Aller. Footwork could use some refining, shows good ability to take sometimes bad steps around the pocket and not needed, where instead of just finding your base and getting to your read downfield, you're kind of moving around almost like a nervous kind of type of a stance. I think he's got a big arm with power. Mechanics on his base are fine. Sometimes, like I just talked about with the Taylon Green, Carson Beck dynamic, where Taylon hits a lot of those underneath throws. Beck doesn't. But Taylon Green can control that arm. Sometimes Drew Aller doesn't control that arm. Sometimes it's a bit of a missile. And then the inverse, when you're looking downfield, there's times where his footwork falls apart and he's off of his back foot or he's off kilter and he'll float a football or two. And there's just a lot of mechanical things with Drew Aller I'd like to see come together because there's a lot of upside here. When he sets his foot and he stays there, he's great. When he sets his feet, he's in the pocket, he progresses through like most quarterbacks. If he just can do it. And that's the problem, is getting your brain wired to do it, especially with a good offensive line the last 2 years. He's had high draft picks on that offensive line the last couple of years. That's in the pocket. However, when he is like moving outside the pocket and he's off platform, some of those odd angled throws that he can make, him and John Mateer, I'll talk about Mateer in a minute. Him and John Mateer make some of the best throws off balance and the release points kind of off to the side. like Drew Aller. But again, have him right now as a second, third round guy. Garrett Nussmeier, notch ahead of him. QB5, 6.26, second, third round grade. I'll hurry it up. 4 more guys to get through. We talked about 2 of them already, so I won't say too much. Number 1 overall is Lenore Sellers. Talked about him last week. If you want to listen to that show, go back last Wednesday on the Draft Rankings feed. Make sure you click subscribe. If you're listening on YouTube, if you click on the podcast, leave a 5-star review, please. So that's Sellers, number 1 overall from South Carolina, and Cade Klubnik is number 2 overall still from Clemson with a second round grade. 2 guys we haven't talked about yet, QB3, QB4. John Mateer is quarterback 3 from Oklahoma. 12 career starts, formerly of Washington State. His offensive coordinator, Ben Arbuckle, is at Oklahoma now with him. John Mateer is fun. This guy, both Mateer and Levitt from, I guess I just gave you it away. Number 4 is Sam Levitt from Arizona State. Both these guys, I wrote down it factor, moxie, upside, fluid athleticism. Both guys can just pull the football down, run 20 yards like it's nothing. Sam Levitt, 6'2", 210. John Mateer, I think is like 6'1", 220 pounds. He's way down here. 6'1", 224. He's from Little Elm, Texas. Sam Levitt's from Oregon. He was a Michigan State transfer. 61% completion percentage for Levitt last year. 24 touchdowns, 6 picks. Big 12 newcomer of the year. His dad is what does dad do? His dad played at BYU. His brother's on the Packers. And then for John Mateer, he was a Manning Award finalist, 24 team captain. He'll be 22 years old next year. 64% completion percentage as well. Again, 3 years at Washington State. Both very fluid athletes. Levitt's got a mild release. I thought that Mateer had a good release, B- arm strength. That's the one kind of knock on him. Both guys good tackle breakers. A lot of Mateer stuff is intentional rushing. Levitt had 443 yards on the ground last year. Mateer at 826 and 15 rushing touchdowns. Super quick release I wrote for Mateer. Vocal at the line of scrimmage. One of the only quarterbacks that I've watched. Probably the best of the 11 guys I watched at being vocal at the line of scrimmage and clearly understanding his offense and has the autonomy to switch plays and to adjust things on the move. So he's obviously very high FBI, high football intelligence, leadership in that offense. I'll be interested to see what that looks like going to Oklahoma. As far as batted passes, being a short guy, 5 batted passes last year, which was actually pretty good. Like nowhere near the top for John Mateer there. 3rd highest sack rate, however. And a year ago, Jackson Darnold at Oklahoma had a 27% sack rate, which was number 1 in America amongst Power 5. John Mateer had a 25% sack rate, pressure to sack rate, which was 3rd highest, just behind Jackson Arnold. Frame doesn't portray one that can take a lot of damage. Like he's 224, but he kind of looks like he's like 216, 218. Dealt with lots of collapsed pockets, kind of goes to that sack thing. Good at dealing with pass rush, finding room to get the platform and settle and then make the pass. But he will miss high in those high pressure situations. I think there's a lot of poise here with John Mateer, who's my quarterback 3. And everybody knows I cover the Texas Longhorns for orangebloods.com. I don't have favoritism towards Texas. I call it how I see it. And as much as it would benefit my job, benefit me for clicks and for other things to say John Mateer sucks, Arch Manning is great. I haven't watched Arch Manning in this context. I haven't watched him for NFL conversations, for draft conversations. But John Mateer today, June 2025, going into the 2025 season, John Mateer is going to make Oklahoma a football team that'll win games they shouldn't. That'll win in situations they shouldn't, because he's got the moxie, he's got the it factor, he's a gunslinger, he's a runner, and he's a damn good quarterback that understands an offense and how to control and guide an offense that maybe isn't prepared to do so. Lenore Sellers, Cade Klubnik, John Mateer, and Sam Levitt. Those are the top dogs in the 2026 NFL Draft conversation. I'm Cody Carpentier, the Draft Rankings podcast. Check all my shit out over at the Draft Rankings on YouTube and Roster Watch on Twitter and YouTube. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. And I'll see you on Friday.